Good evening and welcome to all my dears. As we mentioned earlier, today now we are going to discuss about the secondary diabetes. In secondary diabetes, as you know, pancreatic diabetes and gestational diabetes are the main categories. Regarding pancreatic diabetes, usually or fortunately it constitutes less than 1% of the total diabetic patients, and it is mainly due to, as the name or the heading suggests itself, it's mainly due to various acute or chronic pancreatic problems. And it is usually in patients with chronic pancreatic disorders like chronic calcific pancreatitis, or as a complication of alcoholic calcific pancreatitis, then metabolic disorders like hemochromatosis, then autoimmune mediated like cystic fibrosis like conditions, then CA pancreas, or after pancreatomy, and fibrocalculus pancreatitis, etc. may leads to pancreatic diabetes. Here the diabetes is usually basically due to pathological damage of the pancreas. That is why it is known as pancreatic diabetes. And more than that, along with the pancreatic problem, some chronic hepatic disorders can also leads to pancreatic diabetes. In hepatic disorders like glycogen synthase defect, as you know, one of the main enzymes which is very responsible for the release of the glucose from the hepatobiliary system is glycogen synthase. So anything which affects the biochemical signaling mechanisms, in such condition also, that may interfere with the glucose balance, and near about 40 to 60% of cases are due to obstruction in the pancreatic duct, or maybe due to any stone or calcification in the pancreas, especially in the head of the pancreas. So the pancreatic disorders which leads to a condition of diabetes, that is known as pancreatic diabetes. And regarding the symptom of pancreatic diabetes, along with the symptoms of diabetes, here our patient will have intermittent abdominal pain, and the pain may usually aggravates after having a history of recent alcoholic beverages. So intermittent abdominal pain, and the location of pain usually, as in case of acute or chronic pancreatitis, the pain will be usually in the periumbilical region, and it may be very severe or very intense, and it may radiate from the center to back. All these symptoms can be seen in acute or chronic pancreatitis also. So intermittent periumbilical pain which radiates from the center to back is a symptom of patient with a pancreatic diabetes. And next, about the exocrine deficiency leads to pancreatic problem. As you know, the pancreatic juices are very, very essential for the digestion, especially of proteins and fat, but due to the above mentioned issues, that may leads to maldigestion, malabsorption and maltransportation of the absorbed nutrients. In such condition, a symptom of steatorrhea, that means a very oily or fatty stool or a very foul smelling stool which may float in the toilet bowl or which may be very difficult to flush out from the toilets. So the signs and symptoms of malabsorptive disorders may be an indication of pancreatic diabetes. And next symptom may be, without knowing non-cause, there is great wasting of body. That means unexplained weight loss or wasting especially of muscles or total wasting of the body may be the one of the PC of our patient with pancreatic diabetes. And in pancreatic diabetic patients, the diagnosis of the diabetes may take place usually after the age of 60, or a sudden diagnosis of diabetes may be one of the main clinical symptom of a patient with pancreatic diabetes. That means before that our patient may not have any problem with diabetes related issues. And here remember that most of our patient belongs to pancreatic diabetic patients are unfortunately insulin dependent diabetic one. That means already their beta cells may destroyed more than 80% before the diagnosis of the pancreatic pathology. And regarding the clinical importance of diagnosis of such a diabetic pancreatic diabetes, as you know, most of our patients with diabetes are treated simply to control the blood glucose level, either by medications or by lifestyle modification or by insulin itself or in combined form of the lifestyle modification, medication or insulin, etc. But it is only a superficial evaluation or superficial management or superficial or a limited level of diagnosis only with the diabetic patients, because like that of fever, like that of dyspnea, like that of edema, here the status of or a sign of or a symptom of diabetes only a symptom. The base pathology may be differ. The pathology can be, as we mentioned, as we explained in our earlier class, due to very chronic pathology of pancreas, and more than that, here the clinical importance of the pancreatic diabetic diagnosis is only by that we can prevent the possibility of CA pancreas, because most of our patients with IDDM may be due to CA pancreas, but unfortunately the same may get diagnosed in a very later stage of the disease. In case of pancreatic diabetes, the mostly no morphological alteration in pancreas can be seen also, and other conditions or other endocrinal disorders which may leads to a condition of diabetes, as disorders like acromegaly or Cushing syndrome or pheochromocytoma, etc. may leads to a symptom or a sign of diabetes. The actual diagnosis may be, as it may be a case of acromegaly, or it may be a case of pure Cushing syndrome, or it may be due to pheochromocytoma. And most of the drugs which may affects the directly or indirectly affects the endocrinal function of our pancreas, especially by the painkillers. Commonly abused painkiller is Vovaran, that is nothing but a diclofenac sodium citrate. Then by drugs which contain malonic acids, drugs which are non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. The very common NSAIDs is ibuprofen. Then steroids like thiazides, then various psychoactive medicines, then even with abuse of oral contraceptive hormonal medicines, etc. may leads to secondary diabetes. And regarding the gestational diabetes, at the time of pregnancy or just after the delivery, you can see some of our patients may having a transient period of diabetes. It is due to uncontrolled flux of various hormones in a pregnant lady that may inhibit the insulinic action, and thereby for a transient period of time they may become diabetic. That is why it is known as gestational diabetes. And most of our patients with gestational diabetes, after a period of 3 or 6 months, there will be a return of normalcy of hormonal fluctuations, and thereby the same may get resolved spontaneously. But in very little percentage of patients with gestational diabetes may prolong to have a condition of diabetes also. So these are the main causes of, or main types of, or the real pathogenesis behind the symptom or sign of diabetes. And because of the issues, naturally, automatically our pancreas become very exhausted, very tired, or very weak to perform its endocrinal and exocrinal duties, and thereby total exhaustion of pancreas will result in inability to maintain the normal blood glucose level, and thereby our patient become purely having persistent or continuous persistent hyperglycemia, that is diabetes. From the next class, we have to study about the symptomatology of diabetes. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you.